Klimt trees. Today we will be looking at the Tree of Life painted by Austrian artist Gustav Klimt. Hello, it's Mr. Brush and Miss Christina. You will be using watercolor paint, oil pastels, and you might need a pencil for sketching out your ideas. I'm going to start with my pencil first just to show you. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my paper and I'm going to draw the ground, kind of like a wavy line from side to side. And my paper is landscape style. I'm going to outline that with my black oil pastel. So if you think you would be more comfortable using a pencil for this project, you can. Just remember that you will have to outline your pencil lines after. Next, I'm going to draw the tree coming out of the ground and sprouting out. I'm going to find the middle and I'm going to start on the bottom and I'm going to draw up. And then I'm going to curve my line into a spiral. That is a signature motif or shape that Klimt loves to use in his artwork. To complete the shape, start at the tip and then circle back around so you're kind of copying the way that the spiral goes. And then for this one, you just kind of follow it until the end. Perfect. Now we need to add the other branches. You're kind of gonna do a wavy line and then it ends with a spiral. And do the same thing. You're gonna start here at the trunk and then come out, follow along, and then end at the very end, the tip. Okay, and you're gonna do that with all of the branches, and we'll start on the other side. So make your wavy line. It can be more wavy or less wavy. End with a spiral, start at the trunk, copy the line, follow along until the very end or the tip. Don't forget to add the middle branches. So we have some on the bottom, some on the top. Now we need some here in the middle. And you're gonna follow the same pattern, wavy line, end with a spiral. Start at the trunk, copy, follow along to the very end. And do that on both sides. We have the structure for our tree. Now we need to look for the little empty spaces and add more swirly branches to make our tree look more full and more exciting. So take a step back from your artwork, see where the empty spots are, and then start to fill the spaces up with spirals. To make the spiral branches, do it the same way that we have been doing the other ones. Start with a spiral, then follow along all the way until the tip. Once you have enough spirals coming off, you can add some smaller little branches by just doing a simple line, curving it just a little bit, and bringing it back to the branch. Now we are ready to add some Klimt style details. I'm going to do some little triangles and color some of those in. I can also add some triangles and not color them in, and that means I'm going to paint them in later. So this project is a combination of coloring some of the details in, but leaving some white space so that you can paint it. And just remember, when you use oil pastel, the watercolor paint and oil pastel resist. They push away from each other. The colors that you use are up to you. I'm using this kind of yellowy gold color because Klimt loved gold. A lot of his paintings even have real gold leaf in them. And his father was a gold engraver, so a lot of his love of this yellowy goldish color comes from that. Take a closer look at Klimt's Tree of Life and you'll see lots of tiny little details, circles and mushroom shapes and ovals and even kind of like flower shapes. So any kind of abstract shape that you want to add is up to you because you are the artist. Once you are done with your shapes, it is time to paint. For the tree, I'm using this yellow gold color. Remember to make your paint nice and juicy and to rub your brush back and forth in the paint to get it activated. That means to get it working. It will not work really well if you don't add water to it. Remember, anything that you drew with the oil pastel is going to show up because oil pastel and watercolor paint, what do? They resist, they push away from each other. So even if you used white, it will show up. It's kind of like a hidden surprise. If you add more water to your paint will become lighter. If you want your paint to be darker, rub your brush in the paint more to get more pigment on your brush. You can also mix your colors for the tree and the branches. Remember, you are the artist, so it's up to you the colors that you want to use. But I am using kind of similar colors to our artist. He is our inspiration today. All right, the last thing to paint is the background. I chose kind of a bluish gray color, and I'm doing a technique called wet on wet, where I'm dripping little droplets of wet paint on to wet paint. I really enjoyed creating this, and I hope you do too. Remember, take your time, try your best, and have fun.